And let's start the intro music. Very nice. And then here comes the graphics. Oh, it's the
Oh,
Tom and Melinda show. It's the Wise and McKinsey show.
that's right. We're going to unpack some shit.
We're unpacking some shit. Bitches. Everybody likes to be called a bitch.
Everybody really, women in particular, it's really our favorite. All
I
the
love it.
nicknames.
Huh.
Yes.
So we survived the first show.
Yes.
I've got 3, I think, interesting topics for this show.
Let's do them.
No, well, we could do one of your topics though first. How's it been? I mean, everybody's masked up. I had a mask on today.
Yes.
I went out to lunch. Mask.
Okay.
The lunch places here are abandoned. Don't tell my kids I went out to lunch, but it was super safe outside. Everybody wore a mask, even while eating.
Well, they're saying outside is better, right? I mean, I'm still learning because, the thing that's stressing me out about is they're saying, Fauci's saying that it's airborne. So.
Fauci.
Come on, man. Like, the dude knows some stuff. So, yeah, I'm
a fan. I'm a fan.
I'm still working from home. The only place I went was I walked my dog and I walked to the mailbox to pay my taxes.
There you go.
Today is July 15th. I am not happy. I told Alex and Will we need to do something fun tonight because I'm in a dark place.
It was a big check, a lot of zeros.
Oh man, yeah, it hurt.
Yeah, I didn't make much this year, so it wasn't so bad.
Woo.
I'm on my building. This is my year of building. I'm building a foundation. Wasn't making any cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just Brooklyn's expensive to live in, and because I'm a 1099, I should pay as I go.
Sure,
but I don't.
What?
I'm not giving you my money. I'll just keep it until I have to pay you, and then I'm always like, what? So much money. It's my own fault. So anyway.
It is what it is. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Give me one of your topics. Let's start with one of yours first.
I've got a book of topics. Okay. Well, I like this one, and I think it's relevant for everybody, is what are you buying right now? Like, are your buying habits different now with the way that the climate is? What are you buying?
Right. It's interesting because, one of my little things that I'm starting now is getting serious as an Amazon seller.
Yes.
And I bought a program, actually I rent it for like $60 a month, that can actually go inside of Amazon and tell you what's selling in any category and what the volume is. I told you about this last time we talked, right?
You did.
Masks.
Is that legal?
Yeah, it's very legal. Amazon doesn't care because Amazon just wants to sell more stuff. So
right.
Amazon wants everybody to know what's selling. Amazon wants to know everybody what they're doing because people can just jump in. Amazon just wants to do volume. I mean, you could choose either not to be on Amazon or whatever, but all your numbers are exposed.
Ooh.
It's amazing. So Matt Davis and I are buddies. We both listened to Adam Carolla. I was able to bring up Adam Carolla on this piece of software and found out how many books he's selling per month.
How many?
It was crazy. It wasn't a lot. I mean, it was like $37,000 worth of books in a month. But I mean, it's already been out for a couple months, so this is not the initial rush. But I put masks.
Yeah.
Like doctors' masks and N94s.
Yes.
The first guy is doing $3 million a month in masks, and there was you had to go 10 deep before you hit anything under $1 million a month. Oh boy. This broadcast brought to you by...
Yes. Bubbly. What is it? Bubbly? I
think this is the Publix brand.
Okay.
Everybody's on board. Or maybe it's the Coca-Cola brand. But I like it.
Wow. I was actually thinking about that the other day because when this started, right, I bought different kinds, because I didn't know what I needed. So I have is it the N95? We have some of those with the filters. We have some of the paper disposable. We have cloths. We have some that are plain, some with pictures. I don't really know. And honestly, because the way I'm living in New York, I'm not going a lot of places. So when I'm out, if I'm driving, I wear it's probably not even right, but it's like a headband.
I wear like a beekeeper's cap. Go on.
It's like a headband, so I can keep it around my neck, and that way, if I go to drive up or something, I just pull it up and
like
cover.
The old lady with her glasses on a string.
Exactly like the old lady with her glasses on a string.
With the blue hair.
I'm doing that, but I thought that was I saw that online a while ago that was a way to wear masks was to use those head bandanas because there's quite a bit of fabric, and then if you pull your hair up or do whatever. So in a car, I'm not fumbling with trying to find a mask I just, pull that up. So, okay, what are you buying though? Are you buying a lot of masks? Like have your buying habits changed because of the times?
The only thing I bought for the pandemic was a water bottle thing. There, I have it right here.
A water bottle?
Well, think about it. When back in March or back in February, when they're talking about they may have to shut the whole country down or whatever. You didn't know whether your store was going to be open.
That's true.
You didn't know anything. You're like, I better get a shotgun and start storing up food because you didn't know if you'd be allowed, right?
Yes.
So I said, at the minimum.
What is that?
It's a gravity water system. So you put sewer water in here. Water. And then it gravity filters like 4 gallons at a time, and it'll do 10,000 gallons of water. So, I've got the pond out here at the ranch. I said, at least I'll be able to drink water.
Okay. That's really, you know what?
$35.
That's a good buy. Last November, we actually bought a Berkey filter that will take any kind of water and clean it. It was quite expensive, and we only bought it because my sister recommended it, and I thought, you know what, that's not a bad idea. And now I'm so glad that we have it.
Okay, out of 100 ideas, how many ideas of your sister are good?
I mean, she's the smart one.
Really?
She is the smart one.
90%?
I mean, I'm going to have to say 90%. She actually sent me a list of topics because I was asking, she won't go into the dirty, sexy ones, which I want every show. We need to have one sexy topic.
I kind of regret telling that sponsorship joke I told last week.
Don't regret it.
All right.
Don't regret it. I mean, things happen.
Can I tell you where that came from? Oh, by the way, I'm driving all over the place. That came from, I listened to Adam Carolla. He's got a podcast, and he's got a guy that does that type of sponsorship. He makes kind of a, and this broadcast was brought to you by, Happy Pills, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I called him. I as a matter of fact, I emailed that guy that does those things for Carolla, and I gave him that particular line, lures, sex dolls.
Gotcha.
He said he'd take it under consideration.
Okay.
Which means don't call back.
So don't call back. Well, as far as I think you and I have talked about this, our buying habits here, we did go through the phase where we were worried about, will we have enough, stuff to survive because you're in Florida where it's warm. We're thinking about this winter. So we actually bought a chest freezer so we bought a lot of meat and stuff so we could keep it in the freezer. But here's the interesting thing. When we bought the freezer a couple months ago, 6 weeks ago, you couldn't buy one. Everybody was buying freezers, so that was kind of the thing. So that was a purchase I wouldn't have made any other time in my life, was buying that just to have some food for the winter.
I mean, could you imagine a year ago, somebody said, go ahead and bring in 1 million masks and you'll be a millionaire. You'd go, what? Get out of here.
No. Well, the thing is, it's going to keep growing. So are you going to get in that market, or are you going to start doing masks?
It's packed. Okay. I don't have that many connections. You could get in it if you want, but it'd be, who knows? But then it's a little bit of like, I was talking to my buddy today. He said the stock market jumped up 500 points because some pharmaceutical had some sort of, shot or something.
Right.
So, I mean, you could end up with 1 million masks in your garage.
Right. No, that's true. That's very true. So, okay. So we did my topic. What are you buying? Are you going to do the sexy one?
Oh, what am I buying? Let me see. Yeah, I kind of told you what I was buying.
Yeah.
I'm into buying I didn't buy it off Amazon. I buy the horse. The girls are down from Chicago, and they noted that the horse wasn't sweating. It's hot outside. The horse isn't sweating, but it was panting like a dog.
Okay.
So they washed the horses, put it back on the barn, and they said, Dad, can we get like a sprinkler system or something for the horse?
Okay.
And I bought one of those hose connectors. You connect it to the hose, you put it on low, and it'll like mist in the barn. I would never do it myself, but my daughter's asked me to. $18 later, it shows up today, right?
But also, they're the young millennials because they're thinking ahead. You can also use that for parties.
Yes, you could.
Outside. Oh, wet t-shirt contest. What just happened? So
I was at a outdoor restaurant. Have you ever been to Keystone Corners when you've been here?
I'm not sure if I know.
It's a hole-in-the-wall place on Keystone Road. I mean, it's very rustic. It's in the middle of nowhere, but they make great Cuban sandwiches.
Okay.
Well, and then it was all order outside and sit outside and, mask and 6 feet. So everybody's on board with the rule.
Right.
So I go there and you get in line and you wait your turn, you step up, and all of a sudden you feel this mist on you. I'm going, oh my gosh, am I getting corona? Somebody's spraying me with the virus.
Spraying corona.
Well, they got a fan over here with a mister on. I'm like, you know what? Maybe you don't want to freak people out by misting them.
Yeah. I mean, that is a Florida thing, right? Where they do the misters, but I think right now it would be scary, quite honestly.
Not a bad idea, but it was like, ooh, even I got a low reaction level.
I'm sure. Listen, today when I was walking my dog, I had the mask on and I started to sneeze. Now, I've never sneezed with my mask on yet. So my first reaction was, oh, I need to take it off because I'm going to, you know what I mean? Because in the old days, you wouldn't want to sneeze in a mask, but I was like, well, I have to sneeze in the mask. And so it was a very awkward. I was trying to stop it. I felt very conflicted just over a sneeze. And then I sneezed and I couldn't wait to get back into the house so I could just throw it in the laundry because I was like, oh, what's
That's what it's there for. I bought a set of 5 black masks. I'm not happy with the look of the paper blue mask.
Okay. Yeah, I've got different designs and stuff. I started buying masks like from day one.
Really?
It's an accessory. I like accessories.
A neighbor made him a mask for me, but it was all this tie here and tie there.
I don't like the ties. I have to say that ties, especially with all my hair, I don't like the ties. I like the behind the ears. So I took the ones with the ties and I just made little things so they would tie behind my ear.
Who said you're not handy? Well, pretty much everybody.
Everybody. Yeah. Yes. So,
are you ready for one of my topics?
I'm so ready.
Okay, I'm not going to call it brilliant.
Okay.
But it could be mildly controversial, the title. I was famous at Home Shopping when I was the director of on-air talent.
Yes.
Right? I would have a meeting because we had to have host meetings.
Right.
Once a week, and everybody would come in. So I would pass out the agenda, but the agenda was a mystery because it wasn't straightforward of what I was going to do, but it was kind of like some way to trigger me into getting into the topic that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then I was one more meeting away from going to human resources. I'd have a topic was like, how big is it? Right?
Yes.
How big is it? And of course, it's like, hey, this weekend we got a big promotion going on, blah, 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 blah. So it can have some sort of innuendo to it.
Yes, of course.
But it was never a dirty topic. But the meeting line,
you have to keep people awake during meetings. It's very important.
I had one guy in the back just amassing these meetings as a way that he was going to sue the company if he ever got fired.
Okay, that's nice.
I go, really? That's your master plan? And he never, I don't think he found out that I knew that what his plan was. And he was always a little bit weird. Well, why doesn't Tom like me anymore? Yeah. So the topic is date like a dog.
Date like a dog. Date like a dog. So I could guess what that means. I don't know. I could guess.
Go ahead, give me a guess.
I mean, well, I don't know how dogs date. I know how they mate. And
what about
I actually had a Cocker Spaniel that we bred, so it was that's a whole other show. But date like a dog, I guess, like to just date who's ever closest to you.
It's not a direct analogy.
Oh, okay. So what does it mean?
All right. By the way, in my 61 years, I think I've seen a dog having sex maybe once.
I've seen it once. I never want to see it again.
Maybe that was you looking in the mirror with your last date.
I mean, I don't do mirrors. I don't appreciate the mirrors. I think the mirrors lie. So I won't do mirrors. Mirrors are liars.
This doesn't look like it does on my computer.
No. So okay.
So date like a dog. Here's the deal.
Yes.
This is an indication of don't bring baggage into your next relationship. When you have a dog for 9 years or 12 years and finally, Fido passes on to her or his eternal reward, over the rainbow. Yeah. The next dog that comes into your life doesn't know anything about that last dog. All that next dog does is just know its own reality.
True.
So it's not thinking it's got to replace somebody or do something the way somebody else did something. But the dog just is what it is. and so many folks will date, and my last one cheated on me. The last one, was texting all the time. Whatever bad habit that you're
Right.
super sensitive to from your last date, don't bring it into your next date. Leave it all behind. Try to keep a fresh slate every
But
time you
Tom,
start
if we
dating.
do that, what will my girlfriends and I talk about? We really like the dirt. We like to dig things up. We like to lay it out on the table. We like to put it in our suitcase and carry it around with us. And then at the moment when you least expect it, ta-da!
Boom. That's what my last boyfriend did.
Here's all the reasons you're a terrible human being. Well, so are you saying both men and women should date like dogs then? We
Yes.
should not put any focus into the last.
Well, you're crazy not to learn anything from your previous relationships. That would be nonsense. But I think the date like a dog means don't bring a lot of negativity and assumptions. But we all learn. We all know.
Yeah.
Hey, he went out on Friday night and came back on Monday morning. He's probably out, doing a lot of church things. I mean, you don't be stupid. But just be aware, but don't drag a lot of stuff in. And then I think you also pull the plug early if it's not going well. If there's a deal breaker involved, but no, date like a dog is a good idea.
That's a tough one because we all do that, right? I honestly will say from my point of view, I mean, I feel like I've dated a lot. I try not to do that, but I do find myself falling into it when I'm having moments of insecurity.
Of course.
Like I'm very like, oh, I don't really care about your ex because that was your ex and we're here now. And then something will come up and I'm like, do you think that's because of his ex?
I mean, and then we all do things that we don't know why.
Yes.
So it can be the ex or it can be something else. But I think to maybe elevate awareness of don't being reactive to something that someone else did to you.
Date like a dog.
All right.
I mean, it's I have to say that's a difficult choice just based on who we are as people, right? Like that's a natural human thing that we're going to do is we're going to use that as our fallback analogy of, well, this is all the information I have, so I'm going to use it.
Right.
So dating like a dog would be super hard. That's why I've told you before that I want to date someone whose ex is dead because then I never have to worry about the dead person. Okay.
I dated a woman whose ex was dead.
And
he died while they were still married.
I
went to the house and there were like 9 pictures of him around the place.
Oh, see, now that's hard because you have sainthood. You've got the whole.
That doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what's worse. I don't know what would be more difficult, dating somebody that was really attached to her ex, or dating somebody that has a lot of kids. You're not going to be in first position. You're always going to be in the second position. Yeah.
I mean, dating on a good day is hard, but then you throw in the extra stuff and then it just becomes, right, overwhelming. I mean, that's my real analogy on the whole dating thing with older men, because I feel like men get just as cynical as women do. And it's just easier, I think, for a man to go, you know what? I don't like this. I'm out. As opposed to, well, let's see if we can work through it. It's too easy to replace somebody right now.
I know. Well, it is. It's a shame. I mean, I think you should only walk if there's no chemistry and a deal breaker has been triggered.
Yeah.
But other than that, if you get along, you can see what you should see. Give it a couple, 3 dates.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a hard one, though. I feel like with social media, that's a hard one because everybody vomits their stuff on social media, and then social media wrecks, I think, a lot of relationships too, because then the other person is always looking at the other person's social media and judging why they did.
Oh, it's horrible. It's
what
horrible.
They did. Yeah. So.
And there's so many assumptions why people do or don't post. Why didn't you like this?
Exactly. Why didn't you like? Well, I'll tell you a deal breaker for me as a woman on social media, because you asked, is if I'm in a monogamous relationship with someone, not casually dating, totally different.
6 months, monogamous.
Monogamous. And if they start liking other women's pictures in bikinis and stuff, and I've had this debate with men before, I know you're going to look at them But if you start liking them, to me, in my head, that means you want them to know that you like what they look like in their bikini. And if you're in a monogamous relationship, I don't think you ought to do that.
No, okay, fine. I'll give you that much. You can't like a girl in her bikini if you're in a monogamous relationship. But what if she posts, "Oh, look, I got a brand new car," and you used to work together? Can you like that?
Of course, that's totally fine because it's a different. Good. Yeah, it's a different implication, right?
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah, I'm talking about the implication of if you're posting a bikini pic, then you're
saying. Who
saying,
hasn't?
I mean, we've all done it.
Okay, please.
You're saying, look at my body.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. However, here's the thing. I get a lot, and I'm going to say a lot because I do, married men saying things to me in Messenger and stuff that they shouldn't say.
Right.
And then
a lot of misspellings and things.
Yeah, it's just
a lot of prepositions at the end.
I mean, your, figure it out. But if they try to do the flirty thing with me in Messenger, I'm just disgusted about it because you're overstepping a line.
Plus, he's assuming that you're a bad person too, that you would be willing to violate.
Because I'm so super hot. It's not. Of course he is. He's assuming that I'm going to cross that line with him.
Yes.
And it's heartbreaking, and then I can never look at them the same way because I'm like, you're so inappropriate.
Yeah, and you can. Your wife can't trust you. Guess what? I can't. If we ever go out, I can't trust you either.
No, cheaters cheat. That's the thing. Like, I mean, if you get in a relationship with someone and it's because they cheated, I'm not saying they can't ever fix it, but I feel like it's kind of a personality trait where.
Right.
Cheaters cheat, and if they cheat on you, they probably cheat on their taxes. They probably, it's not like I'm only going to cheat with sex. It's kind of an ethics thing, right? Like,
it's a tell.
I mean, but that's my philosophy. I'm not saying I'm right, but I feel like I am. Kind sir.
I concur with your evaluation.
Okay. I mean, women too.
Huh?
Women too. It's not just a guy.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Anybody.
We're a little more flexible though.
I think men's idea of cheating and women's idea of cheating are very different. I can't tell you how many times my girlfriends have felt like their boyfriends have cheated emotionally on them, which between you and I think is almost worse than the physical stuff. Because the emotional stuff takes time. You're investing and taking time into the person.
There's no photographic evidence of an emotional involvement.
But you feel it right there. It never goes away. The emotional entanglement, which is a new word now, entanglement.
Yes.
We're using
Thank you,
that.
Jada.
So I like Jada, but it's not an entanglement. It's an emotional and sexual affair. Just say it and own it. Own your shit. We have to own our stuff.
Okay, what's your next topic?
I have so many. I'm just looking at my big book of topics.
Done in 8 minutes.
Okay, I want to know, because I feel like we're all staying home more than what we typically are staying home, and we're sheltering more. Do you have like a comfort food or a food that's important to you during this time that you would maybe not eat at other times that you're eating now, or no?
No, I'm going to say no. I said,
being all healthy.
You put both in together. So I discovered Costco, and I discovered their frozen food section, and I discovered the I guess Chinese frozen food.
Okay.
These pho bowls. Have you ever seen these yet?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm talking to Miss Cosmopolitan.
I'm sorry.
I've seen a postcard of Paris.
Excuse me. Go on, peasant.
Oh, I love this thing. It's a little bit of a bowl.
Yeah.
Fill it up with water. 5 minutes, and it's ready to go. And it's unbelievably tasty. I put a little chili powder in there.
Okay.
And I could eat those and I've been eating them every day.
But it's not because of the circumstances of the world.
No, I was, I've lost weight during this time. I'm not rolling through Taco Bell or chili this or
no. How are you losing weight?
Because I'm not eating as much. I had that crazy breakfast sandwich that I make in the morning, and I'm having 2 meals a day. I'm eating at noon or 1 and then eating again at 4 or 5 and then calling it a day.
I don't know that we can be friends anymore. I'm sorry. You're supposed to be in fight or flight, and you're supposed to be eating a lot of food because that's what America is doing right now, sir.
Oh, you know what? I'm doing push-ups. I started doing 20 push-ups.
Oh, we're exercising and we're losing weight. Are you going to become a life coach, sir? Is that your new thing?
I'm just trying to get something positive done. Guess how many push-ups I did today?
Solid man push-ups?
No, gosh, no. They're like a 3/4 push-up, maybe a half.
In a row?
But legs extended, yeah. And someone would say, that's kind of the idea of a push-up.
15.
I've already said I started, I could do 20.
I'm not good at math. 40.
Smaller than 20. I did 60 push-ups today.
And how do you feel afterwards? Like, do you hurt the next day?
No, well, now if I did 6 sets of 60, then I'd hurt. But my goal is to do 100 push-ups at one time by the end of August.
Okay, so I am eating late at night.
Yeah, go on.
I eat zebra cakes every day. I'm not exercising since March. We have an elliptical. I've been on it once. And then 2 days ago, I picked up my hand weights.
There you go, to move into another room.
So
Get these out of here.
Who wants them to be their life coach? Tom or me? Who's a more fun life coach? I'm honest. How are you losing weight and eating healthy and exercising?
I'm sleeping in like a lazy bum. I don't get up till 9 o'clock. Then I drink a lot of water. And then I go through my emails, and around noon, I used to play basketball at 11 o'clock. We don't do that anymore. So then I'm eating a late lunch. I'm only eating when I'm hungry. So I'm eating this. You saw that little crazy.
You can't only eat when you're hungry. You must eat all the time for comfort.
I thank God I don't have that trigger, because if I had a bunch of junk food here, I would eat junk food all day long. I'm not beyond sitting down and eating a pint of ice cream. I can do that, but I'll do it once every 10 days.
Yeah.
Chips don't last for seconds around here.
Really? Well, I will say this about me. I mean, because I'm 5'4", so I do have to watch what I eat. But at the beginning of the pandemic, just to make myself feel better, I told you I bought jars and candy. So I still have, but I can walk past them. I have Payday. I bought a case of Payday candy bars, my favorite. A case of Heath bars. I bought my second case of Heath bars. Twizzlers.
Love them all.
The rock candy sticks, so you can just mow right into the sugar. The cowtails, love cowtails, and I've got zebra cakes everywhere, and I just have them. It makes me happy. I walk through the dining room and there's jars of all this candy, and I'm like, oh.
I would eat all that, and I could eat it all.
Really?
That absolutely. You can. I'll go to Walgreens, and they'll have one for $1, the oversized theater candy. Oh, well, I need 4 of those.
Yeah.
And one's gone by the time I get home. And then the other one's gone by the end of the night, and then the 2 more are gone the next day.
Super tall, you can afford to do that.
It's all moderation. So I'm not having a break. I'm only eating 2 meals, so I get to eat some crap during the middle.
Yeah.
And every now and again, I try to go to bed without eating late. I'll not eat after 6.
You know what I was doing? And see, you're so smart, because I was doing that intermittent fasting thing at the beginning, because I was like, I've got to survive the pandemic. And then a couple months ago, I was like, I don't really give a fuck about any of this. I'm going to eat whatever I want. Why am I trying to lose weight? No one can see my body. I can wear loose clothes. If I'm going to die, I'm not going to be the skinny girl who died. I'm going to be the happy lady with the zebra cake in her mouth, because
it's funny. Do you remember those 7 stages of dying? 7 stages,
Yes.
acceptance, whatever you get to 7. People are having the same thing going on with this pandemic. It's like, I'm going to protect I'm shutting down. I don't give a shit. Lord help me. Whatever the Lord wants is going to happen. And then it's going to be, I don't give a crap. I'm eating everything in sight. But, I'm going to use this pandemic to get back into shape.
Yeah.
Heads are spinning.
Yeah. I'm hoping I get to the point where I've talked about it and verbalized it to my family. So I think I'm getting close to wanting to exercise, because I'm actually acknowledging.
Yeah, don't jump in. Do not jump in.
I mean, I need to do it slow, but yeah, good for you. Good for you.
It's funny. Exercise programs are like women I've been involved with. Up to this point, I've never stuck on any one of them. So
Yeah.
You do exercise. I think if you last a couple of months, at least it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Same thing with the gals.
Oh, see, it's better than nothing.
All right, we're a couple minutes to go. I've got one more topic.
Go.
All right. As I'm getting older and I'm mateless, okay?
Yes, mateless.
Who's responsible for my ear and nose hair? Now, if I was married, of course, my wife would be responsible, getting in there and trimming it up.
Why would she be responsible?
Not letting me out of the house looking like that. So is it my oldest daughter? Is it my ex? Is it my youngest daughter or my youngest boy? The only one that gets a pass is Madison. She's in the middle.
Wow.
Who's responsible?
You want me to answer this honestly?
Yeah. That's why I asked the question.
You are. You're responsible for it. I have never, maybe this is why I don't date well.
Have you ever trimmed a man's hair, your hair?
No.
Oh, you hit 50 and hair's coming out everywhere.
That's not you go do that somewhere where I don't have to watch you.
And if we weren't on a podcast, I'd say, you should see my butthole.
See, but what we are, so you can't say that.
What? I'll edit that out.
What?
That's ridiculous.
No, but really, I mean, you certainly would check that in the mirror, maybe, no? Or at least when you pull
awkward. It's hard to. I don't want to stab myself in the ear with a pair of scissors.
Don't they have mirrors for you guys that are at angles and you can do that?
I'm very unhappy with your.
They have a machine that, like, right? You can just.
That's called a pencil sharpener.
Oh, look, I knocked my sign down. Whoops! I guess the show's over now because my sign fell down. We're no longer recording.
Bad answer.
It probably is a bad answer, but it's honest. I mean, if I was going to try to play the, oh my goodness, let me see, I would probably throw your son under the bus and go, look, he's a dude. He can help you out.
Oh, on a kind of a somber note.
What?
Don't talk about any somber notes. I remember when my grandfather lived at an old folks home.
Okay.
And my dad would go to the old folks home, once a month or whenever.
Okay.
And he would trim his toenails in a community room. He'd get down there with like a little bench and trim his toenails. And as I was watching that, I always remember, oh, okay, I'm learning from my father how to care for him when he's older. But,
okay.
My dad died when he was 56.
Right.
But it was an interesting time to watch my father, maintain. I think that's kind of a loving thing. So who gets to love on dad by trimming his ear hair and his nose hairs?
Have your daughters expressed an interest in this?
No, I've never brought it up.
Yes.
I mean, haven't you dated anybody and you said, go get a scissors. Give me that.
No.
You've never trimmed a man's hairs?
No. I haven't. I'm not lying. I would tell you.
Eyebrows?
I've done plenty of horrible things in my life, and this is not one of them that I have done. I've never done
a loving thing. It's loving.
It?
Yes.
Well, then I love wrong. Okay, I'm bad at loving. I'm bad at it.
I'd like to put that in in my account, for my dating account. Put that in as a question. Will you trim my hairs? Not those. The ones
I think you're going to get a whole different level of woman. I don't know if it's the kind of woman you want, but it might be worth a try.
It might be an interesting tell. So, like we talk about tells, whether somebody cheats on their taxes or cheats on their wives or blah, 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 blah. To ask a simple question like that, to see what kind of answer you get might indicate the type of person that she is or he is.
I think it would. I think it would. Do you want that kind of a person that answers it? That's my question. Well, if you find someone that says, I'm really into trimming your ears and your nose, and I love popping
pimples. That woman's she's got my back. My business is going to hell. She's got my back. Some guy's coming up the driveway with a shotgun. She's going to go get a shovel.
I'll fist fight anybody. I will slay you emotionally or with my words.
There you go. All right, here we go.
I'll fight in those ways. Oh, look, my little sock monkey fell too. See, now you're making me feel like I'm a bad partner because I won't.
No, I'm just saying.
I have never considered it. I've never saw it and thought, let me help you with that. So I'm sorry. I'm not as good a person as I thought I was.
There you go. You know what? This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about. See, I would like to find out things that women would like for guys to say, I got that. Somebody once told me, I was in a relationship with a woman and she says, you know what I really want you to say? things are going to be fine. Things are going to be all right.
Even if you don't mean it?
Yeah. What was a situation you really couldn't control? Somebody, the boss was going to fire somebody, or something else was going to happen. I was going to, whatever, a situation you really couldn't control. It's like, I was like, all right, I could do that. I could be a positive, calming influence for somebody if that's all she really is asking for. She asked me to say that. I said, absolutely, I could say that. Things are gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And
I like that.
It's a nice little tip.
I know about myself that I require harmony. I don't like stress, and I don't like people that create problems or like an Eeyore type personality.
Yes.
I'm very opposed to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a problem for me if someone was always like, what are we going to do about this? I'm like,
right.
You're going to go this way and I'm going to go that way. I'm not doing that with you. So I sound like a horrible person. I might not be.
No. I'm going to give you the last word. I'm going to give you the last word to end the show with the tip of the day.
The tip of the day. Okay. I have to think of something
right now. Trim a man's hairs. I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, no, that's not the tip. The tip. You know what? The tip of the day is, I'll tell you something, the biggest lesson I've learned in my life, and I know this sounds ridiculous and easy, but it's true. You're in charge of your own happiness. Do not look to anybody else to make you happy. And if you're not happy by yourself, you're not going to be happy in a relationship. You're going to find faults. And it sounds simple, but it's not, because you really have to know who you are. You have to be honest about who you are. And you have to decide, if you're having a really crappy day and things are going wrong, yeah, you can feel bad about it. You can feel your feelings. That's important. But also acknowledge you're in charge of, you know what? I can either complain about this or I can move on. And I have learned, because I think I was a victim for a long time when I was much younger. I think I fell into victimhood because I wasn't taught that I was in control. I would walk into a room and see what the temperature was and kind of go towards that. Now I walk in the room, I'm like, this is where I'm at. And this is where I'm going to be. So I think that's it. You've got to be in charge of your happiness.
I concur. And on that note, we're done unpacking shit for today. My name's Tom Wise.
And I'm Melinda McKinsey. Thanks for unpacking shit with me, Tom.
Thanks, Melinda.
Bye.
See you next time.